The seaplane rocked gently on the open water, its engines humming low as it drifted under power. Noah stared out at the horizon, sweat cold on his neck. Two longboats that appeared dark silhouettes cutting fast across the waves. "Heck," he muttered, "they're not supposed to be here." Jamie leaned forward, eyes narrowing. "Could be the Coast Guard," he said, though his voice lacked conviction. Noah shook his head. "They're too early." The boats didn't answer their hails. No radio call, no flag. Just speeding closer, too straight, too silent. His stomach dropped. "They're not here to help us." They watched helplessly as the boats approached, closer with every second. Spray burst around their hulls. Figures stood upright, faces obscured, arms raised, shouting words neither pilot could understand. Noah's fingers tightened around the controls. Jamie whispered, "What do we do now?" But they both knew. This was no rescue. This was survival. But before we start, smash the like button and make sure to subscribe if you haven't, and hit that notification bell so that you won't miss any new stories. The morning sun painted the Indian Ocean in silvers and golds, its rippling surface catching every glint of light. Captain Noah Reyes adjusted his headset and glanced at the reflection of the seaplane's wings in the water below. To his right, co-pilot Jamie Malik tapped the altimeter, his grin as wide as the horizon. "Flight number 100, Jamie said. "You know what that means? That you're going to bring cake for the ground crew?" Noah replied dryly, eyes still scanning the instruments. "It means," Jamie said, ignoring the jab, "that after we touch down in Djibouti this afternoon, I'm officially eligible for international captaincy. No more second seat. No more pretending to laugh at your jokes." The two had flown together for over a year now, ferrying everything from scientists and medics to delicate equipment across the African coastline. Today's manifest included just 3 cargo crates, each one sealed and strapped tight in the hold. Labeled with international transport tags and security markings, the contents were marked confidential, but the paperwork hinted at high-value satellite components, lightweight, expensive, and rare. The flight had started out smooth, calm skies, open sea. Nothing but gentle chatter between two men who had flown together long enough to trust each other with their lives. Then a red light blinked on the panel. Noah saw it. At the same time, Jamie did. "Jamie?" "Yeah, I see it," Jamie said, already tapping through the system readouts. "Rudder actuators not responding. Manual overrides failing." Noah pressed on the pedals. No resistance, just dead weight. "We've lost rudder control," he said, the calm in his voice at odds with the rising tension in the cabin. Jamie leaned forward, scanning instruments. "We can't land like this. Even light crosswinds could spin us out, flip us." "Then we land here for now," Noah said flatly. Jamie blinked. "We're too far away," Noah interrupts. "We don't have a choice." There was a beat of silence. Then Jamie took a breath and reached for the mic. "Mayday, mayday, mayday. This is Gulf Seaway 59, he said, his voice tight. "We've lost rudder control and are executing emergency sea landing. Coordinates," he rattled them off, fast but clear. "Request immediate assistance. We'll attempt to maintain heading using engine thrust only." Noah adjusted the flaps, beginning the descent. The plane descended, slicing through a gust of warm wind. The pontoons hit hard. For a moment, they bounced once, twice, and then the floats dug into the water. Then, silence. The seaplane bobbed in place, pitching slightly with each small wave. Jamie checked the radio. "Coast Guard's acknowledged. Closest cutter's en route. ETA, 3 hours." They looked out across the open sea. Noah, glancing sideways, added, "Don't count this as your 100th if we don't make it to Djibouti." The seaplane drifted gently across the surface of the sea, its engines idling just enough to keep the nose pointed east. Inside the cockpit, Jamie fiddled with the GPS, trying to calculate how far the currents might carry them before help arrived. Jamie frowned at the map. "At this drift rate, we'll end up somewhere between absolutely nowhere and very absolutely nowhere." "How long did they say again?" 3 hours, give or take." Jamie checked his watch. "We've burned 20 minutes. The plane groaned as another wave slammed into its side. Noah winced. "We don't have 3 hours of this. Something gives, we'll start taking on water." "We could try stabilizing the drift," Jamie offered, "if we can nudge the rudder free. Maybe steer a bit more east and get closer to shipping lanes." Noah raised an eyebrow. "You think it's stuck, not broken?" Jamie stood and stepped toward the rear maintenance hatch. "Only one way to find out." He climbed down to the narrow service access, crawling halfway to the back while Noah kept watch. A few minutes later, Jamie's voice came through the intercom. "Captain, you're gonna love this. Looks like something wedged itself in the rudder linkage. Not snapped, just jammed." Noah replied, "Define something." Looks like part of that insulation mat we had replaced last week. Must have come loose and got sucked into the gear mechanism. Noah, hoping for a resolution, asks, "Can you get it out?" Jamie looks in closer. "Not from in here. We'd have to kill power and pop the hatch outside." Noah considered that. Too risky in these swells. If we lose engine power while we're floating, we're helpless. Jamie reappeared in the cockpit, brushing dust off his coveralls. "So we wait?" Noah didn't answer right away. He looked at the navigation display, then at the waves, then at the silent radio. "We wait, but we plan something in case..." His voice cut off. He leaned forward, eyes squinting through the front window. Jamie followed his gaze. "Jamie, 3 o'clock. Jamie turned toward the directions Noah mentioned and shielded his eyes from the sun, then froze. On the distant horizon, 2 boats appeared, long, narrow silhouettes, gliding low and fast over the waves. Their wake split the ocean like blades. A pause hung between them. "Could be the Coast Guard," Jamie said hopefully. "That was fast." Noah didn't blink. "They said 3 hours. Jamie checked the log. "Yeah, still over 70 miles out." They exchanged a look. "Try hailing them," Noah said, already knowing it was pointless. Jamie grabbed the mic. "Unidentified vessels approaching Gulf Seaway 59, please respond. This is a disabled seaplane. We are in need of assistance." Silence. Noah reached for the binoculars. "They're not Coast Guard." Jamie turned slowly back toward the window. "Then who are they?" Noah lowered the binoculars. His voice was flat. "Pirates." Jamie panicked. "How the hell did they know we were out here?" Noah didn't take his eyes off the horizon. Mayday went out on an open frequency. Anyone listening would have heard it. The weight of that realization settled like a stone in their chests. What had been a technical emergency was turning into something far worse. "We need to move," Noah said sharply. "Engines on. We're not sitting ducks." Jamie scrambled back to his seat. "We can't fly." "No," Noah agreed, "but we can sail." He pushed the throttles forward. The seaplane responded slowly, lumbering through the water like a wounded whale. Spray kicked up as they gained a bit of speed, enough to start pulling east, away from the approaching boats. In the rear of the plane, the precious cargo rattled in its harness. Jamie glanced back at it. "They don't know what we're carrying, right?" Noah didn't answer. The seaplane pushed forward awkwardly, engines sputtering against the strain, barely maintaining its direction as waves battered the floats. He glanced again at the cargo, the crates shifting with every jolt. "They don't know what we're carrying, right?" His voice cracked. Noah stayed silent. Jamie's panic flared. "Right, Noah?" Noah clenched his jaw. "If they're chasing us this hard, it doesn't matter. They think it's valuable." Jamie slammed the panel. "We shouldn't be out here." "I know," Noah said curtly. Jamie stared at the radar. "They're on us. Coast Guard's over an hour away if they come at all." "They'll come," Noah said. "We just have to hold." Noah kept one hand on the throttle, watching shadows grow behind them. "Use anything heavy, wedge it." Jamie reached the rear hatch. He kicked a crate in place, tied it down with a cargo net, and dragged over the toolbox. The plane shuddered. Noah checked the systems. Power and radio were holding. Rudder still jammed. Jamie stared at the blocked door. A crate had started to shift with every jolt. "They're right next to us," he whispered. Noah said nothing. Then they heard it. A dull bump, then another. "They're testing us," Noah said. Another bang, then a dragging noise, something scraping across the outside. Jamie gripped the side of his seat. "What if they're already trying to climb up?" "They might be," Noah admitted. Then came a loud knock right on the side door. Jamie jumped up. That was the door. "They're trying the handle," Noah confirmed. Jamie rushed to the crate, blocking the door, peering through the small window. A shadowy figure was outside, a hand pressed against the glass. "They're right here, trying to open it." Noah joined him. "Don't open it. No matter what, they stay out." "Get behind the crates," Noah ordered. "If they make it in, stay back." Jamie's breath quickened. "We're not trained for this," he muttered. "We fly cargo." Jamie stepped back. "That door won't hold." "Get ready," Noah said. The cockpit door popped open. 3 men burst in, soaked and masked. One pointed at Jamie and barked an order in a language they didn't recognize. "Back," Noah shouted, raising his hands. "We're not armed." One pirate shoved Noah back into his seat. "Sit, no noise, no trouble." Jamie hesitated. The tall pirate jammed a finger into his chest. "You quiet, or we make you quiet." They were tied up, hands behind their backs, wrists burning from the ropes. Jamie winced as he struggled. Outside, other pirates were already prying open crates. Clasps snapped. Jamie elbow hit the throttle, backslamming a red switch labeled Aux Emergency. A blaring siren erupted through the plane. All 5 pirates recoiled. One panicked, another lost balance. A crate tipped, spilling metal, cases, and electronics. "Shut it!" the leader shouted. A pirate flipped the switch, silencing the alarm, but the moment had disrupted everything. The leader barked new orders. "We take them." Now, Jamie and Noah were dragged to a boat. Ocean spray lashed them as they sat, wrists tied, bodies soaked. "We lost the plane," Jamie said. "They're taking everything," Noah muttered. Jamie watched as the pirates struggled to lift a crate from the plane. "What'll they do to us?" Noah didn't answer. Then, from the distance, a horn. Another. A white cutter with a blue stripe surged across the horizon. The Coast Guard. The pirates saw it too. Shouts broke out. A crate fell. One pirate dropped into the water. Another fumbled with the boat's engine. A voice boomed. "This is the Coast Guard. Drop your weapons." Searchlights swept the chaos. In seconds, they were surrounded. Officers boarded fast, shouting in multiple languages. A hand grabbed Noah's shoulder as the ropes were cut. "You all right, sir?" We couldn't stop them," Noah said. "You held your ground," the officer replied. "That siren, that gave us your exact position." Jamie laughed, stunned. "I sat on it by accident," the officer grinned. "Lucky accident." Minutes later, the pirates were cuffed, the cargo secured. The seaplane drifted damaged but afloat. Wrapped in blankets on the cutter's deck, Jamie leaned back. "So, Flight 100. Noah gave a faint smile. Didn't go exactly to plan. Jamie looked at the stars. "Yeah, but I'll take it.